Hey, welcome everyone. This is Mike from ZozoStockWatch.com, and this is your stock watch list for Thursday, the 26th of April. Let's get into it. Let's look at the action that we had in the SPY today on the market open today. We had the SPY gapping down, and you see the action here on the SPY around that 261 area. All right, yesterday, Tuesday's lows, we penetrated that. And then we got the head fake and the push back up. So the bulls did come in and defend the 200 SMA on the daily. I'll show you that in a moment. And then we kind of moved up for the rest of the day, and we're moving back up in the after hours tonight on the SPY after we got a bunch of earnings that came out after the bell tonight. Let's go ahead and get into some of this action that came out, some of the earnings announcements that came out after the bell, courtesy of Trade Exchange, built for traders by traders. Let's see, our first one up in the room, we had Qualcomm with earnings, semiconductor name. So that one gapped up after their earnings came out. They came out with an earnings per share beat and beat on revenue for Qualcomm. Nice push up and pretty much holding most of the gains there on Qualcomm. So interesting. Facebook came out with earnings after the bell, and you see here it was kind of just treading water all day, just waiting for that report. And then here's the reaction in the after hours as their earnings came out. Quarter one revenues 11.97 billion, estimate for 11.41 billion. So they beat on revenue. Active users 2.2 billion versus 2.1 billion. So their active users went up there on Facebook. So nice earnings report there for Facebook, and they're pushing that stock up in after hours. Twitter was also turning the corner a little bit back over that $30 mark on Twitter after Facebook's earning. By the way, this was the reaction for Twitter this morning. They popped it up and then they sold it off the rest of the day. And then they got it back above 30 in the after hours tonight on Twitter. Visa had earnings come out after the bell, letter Visa, and that stock pushing up for Visa. LVS, Las Vegas Sands, they beat by 19 cents, beat on revenues. LVS pushed it up and gave back some of those gains. Netgear beat by 2 cents, beat on revenue. NTGR, that stock selling off in the after hours. CTXS, earnings per share revenue beat. CTXS, that stock popping in the after hours on that earnings per share revenue beat for CTXS. Next up, we had UCTT, Ultra Clean Holdings. Now, this is connected with the semiconductor sector, and this stock is moving up in the after hours tonight as they beat by 9 cents, beat on revenues for UCTT. AT&T came out with earnings. They missed by 2 cents, missed on revenue for AT&T. That stock dropping down in the after hours tonight on AT&T. Chipotle, CMG came out with earnings after the bell, and they were a beat. And I believe they guided higher too for CMG. So nice push up here for Chipotle Mexican Grill and up after hours. CMG first quarter earnings per share increased 33% to $2.13 on revenue increase of 7.4% for CMG. KNX, Knight Swift, a transport trucking company, up in the after hours as they beat by 4 cents, but they did miss on the revenues, but they are up a little bit in the after hours. ServiceNow, they beat by 19 cents, missed on the revenue for NOW now, which is moving down in the after hours. AXTI beat by 2 cents, misses on revenue. AXTI, that stock not doing too much. Beat. Biotelemetry beats by 16 cents, beat on revenue. BEAT, that stock moving up in the after hours. Let's see what else we had. PCMI, they beat by 5 cents, beat on revenue. PCMI, that stock gapping up in the after hours. Specialty retailer stock there. QEP had earnings after the bell. QEP, that stock not doing too much. Cake was selling off after hours. They missed on their earnings. They gapped it down. Then they had their conference call, pushed it back up on CAKE. When I get to the earnings, I'll show you that. eBay earnings per share in line, misses on revenue. So eBay, that stock moving down in the after hours. AMD had earnings tonight. Guides quarter two revenues above views for AMD. So that stock pushing up in the after hours on their nice earnings report and holding most of the gains. So AMD up in the after hours. Ford had earnings tonight after the bell. Ford holding its gains. PayPal also had earnings, and that stock moving up in the after hours. Let's check out Square. A little bit of a reaction with the PayPal earnings. So Square ticking up in the after hours. Sympathy to PayPal. TRN Trinity connected with the railroads. Not too much going on, but they beat by 4 cents, missed on revenue on TRN. LM earnings per share revenue beat. So that's Legg Mason, a financial, not doing too much in the after hours here tonight. We mentioned Ford, Sam Adams, Sam Boston Beer, SAM. That stock ticking up a little bit in the after hours. Here's the numbers for Cheesecake, CAKE. They missed by 12 cents and they beat on revenue for CAKE. And then I guess they must have explained their numbers better on the conference call. And so they're pushing that one back up, CAKE, in the after hours. Let's see if there's any other standout earnings. A lot of earnings after the bell. But here's some news on Mankind. FDA determines that Afrezza Remen's communication plan has met goals. So let's see. Mankind not doing too much. Actually did flash up, but then gave it all back on Mankind. So not a good after hour showing there. Let's see. Bill Maher, he's a hedge fund manager, I guess, says the path of least resistance for the market from here is higher. Okay, so some comments from Bill Maher. Let's see if we had any other news after the bell. Ocean Engineering, Oceaneering, sorry. OII, they missed on earnings by 9 cents, missed on revenue. And GG, Gold Corp, misses by 2 cents. GG, that stock moving down in the after hours. PGNX announces presentation at the 2018 American Society of Clinical Oncology annual meeting. So PGNX, let's see if that's doing anything. Not much going on there. All right, so that's some of your news that came out courtesy of the Trade Exchange. Let's take a quick look at your futures in the overnight session. It's about 2 minutes to 7, excuse me, 2 minutes to 7 Eastern time, my time. Dow futures up 22, S&P futures up 5, NASDAQ futures up 21 early in the session. The Bitcoin currently still battling underneath the 200 SMA, a little bit of a pullback today on Bitcoin from the 200 SMA on the daily chart after that bounce from about the 6,000 area up to about that round number 10,000 and remaining under the 200 SMA for Bitcoin. So a lot of the Bitcoin stocks, blockchain stocks were quiet today. So Bitcoin unable to get over that moving average so far. Some of your action for tomorrow for major economic information. Tomorrow at 8:30, Thursday the 26th, we have durable goods orders coming out at 8:30, international trade in goods coming out at 8:30, jobless claims also at 8:30 tomorrow. 10:30, we have the EIA natural gas report coming out 10:30, UNG and UGAS, the ETFs to watch for that. And then on Friday, we have the GDP coming out at 8:30 Eastern time on Friday, and then Chicago PMI and 10 o'clock consumer sentiment, and then the Baker Hughes rig count. So that's what we have left for the rest of the week. This calendar of economic information also courtesy from the Trade Exchange, built for traders by traders. Some of your unusual call activity today, we had RRC with unusual call activity, MOS, KKR, AXL, KNX, AVGO. DHI, home builder there, WNC, IP, UNH, OPK, ARRS, SSRM, all with unusual call activity today, courtesy of the trade exchange. Let's go ahead and take a look at the SPY tonight. We'll just do the SPY for this evening. Basically, we came down to the 200 SMA here. Bulls held. Once again, that 200 SMA, the low today was 260.85, so we'll be watching that level tomorrow. Also watching the level of the 200 SMA, 260.59 is the 200 SMA on the SPY, so we'll be watching those two levels tomorrow. So, bulls did what they had to do today. Now let's see if we're going to get a continuation move back up, or are we going to break down below the 200 SMA. A lot of earnings coming out tomorrow morning. All right, some big names again for tomorrow and Thursday. For tomorrow, we have AbbVie, UBS, Raytheon, GM, American Airlines, Southwest, Nokia, Bristol Myers, Domino's Pizza, Altria, symbol MO there. After the close tomorrow on Thursday, we have Amazon, Microsoft, Intel, US Steel, Western Digital, Starbucks, Baidu, Cypress Semiconductor. So a lot of big names coming out after the bell on Thursday. These were the earnings today. And then Friday before the open, we have Exxon, Chevron, Dominion Energy, Phillips 66, Rockwell Collins, Charter Communications, and Weyerhaeuser will be reporting on Friday before the bell. All right, so you still have Amazon, Microsoft, Intel, and US Steel, Western Digital, and whatnot coming out for Thursday after the bell tomorrow. One last thing I'm going to show you before we get into the watch list. This TNX, which is the 10-year yield. This is up over 3% now. All right, so we finally broke above the threes here. We put a 3 handle on our interest rates, so we are trading above that 3% right now on the TNX. Whenever you see the TLT moving down, all right, that means interest rates are moving up. So this is the TLT ETF, I guess. And so the TNX moved up the rates, and as the TLT was moving down, so maybe that's what kind of held back the pop in the SPY today. So keep an eye on those interest rates. They are moving up at the moment. All right, let's go ahead and get into the watch list for tomorrow. First one up is going to be AMD. All right, with that big push on the earnings report tonight, maybe some shorts are trapped in this. We might get a continuation move in AMD. Watching this APC, an oil name. Check earnings. I'm not sure when this one has earnings, but it's been kind of flagging up here underneath that 67 level. So nice move up, consolidated, moved up. Now kind of a cup with a little handle here on APC. So keep an eye on that one if it can get up over that 67. Maybe a possible swing trade in this name. Let's just take a quick look at oil tonight. Yeah, oil, USO ETF, just basing under that $14 level on oil. So if that starts climbing, APC might want to continue up. I just want to show you some of the action in some of the railroads. The transports were up today. Canadian Pacific had a nice pop up. CSX, after their earnings, holding pretty much that gap area. They announced earnings a few weeks ago, and nice pop there in CSX, and trying to turn the corner. So CSX, another railroad that was moving up, and then NSC, a big pop in Norfolk Southern Corp, nice pop, big volume came into NSC, another railroad. So just pointing those out because the transports were up today, and it was pretty much from the railroads. So some other stocks besides AMD that I'm going to have on watch for tomorrow. We'll have this Dare on watch tomorrow. Big volume came into this. We got a trade in this in the service today, so we'll be watching that. Dare, DHI, holding this 200 SMA on DHI, had that unusual call activity, so watching this one also. EVLV might be possible takeover with Amazon, news with Amazon, so a nice move up. 1.8 million shares may be in play for tomorrow. Fate, this stock, volume a little bit light, but kind of consolidating here. Maybe if it can get up over, 1160 or so, possible swing trade in FATE. GLNG, holding up very well in this market, holding the 5 EMA here, turning back up, possible swing trade in that name. HBAN, a bank, regional banks have been doing really well. KRE, the ETF for the regional banks, holding up above the 50 SMA. So maybe HBAN and maybe Zion want to make a move tomorrow. I'll keep an eye on that. Another one that looks pretty good is the Regions Financial, basing under the 50 SMA. So this one will be on watch. Possible swing trades in those. HEAR, possible day trader for tomorrow. You see it's holding below this $5 area. If we get up maybe over, the highs today for 85 or so. Maybe we have a possible chance to break that $5 spot. It did have a good close on HEAR, so I'll be watching that. HMNY, just keep it on watch in case this thing ever wants to turn the corner. Probably kind of a bottoms up play. Here's the intraday chart on HMNY. It has fits and starts around this $2.50 level, so we'll see if this one wants to make a move. IPI had a big pop, agriculture name, huge volume, 5.6 million shares came into this. We'll see if there's any kind of maybe red to green or continuation move in IPI. Another one you might want to watch is MOS, another ag name, daily getting back above the 50 SMA, 5.4 million shares in this one on MOS. Keep an eye on that. Let's see, Anovo has been coiling here, all right, underneath the 100 SMA, been coiling for a few days now, has that $1.25 number up above. The 100 SMA on this thing is at 123. So if it ever gets back over, this recent high here, 128, maybe it makes a move up, ONVO. Next up, we'll take a look at RESN, the semiconductor name. Big volume came into this one, 3 million shares, nice pop, trying to get back over the 50 SMA. Keep this one on your radar for tomorrow. Sprint actually holding up pretty well, right? Kind of flagging here on Sprint after that rumor that maybe TMUS was interested in merging with them, holding most of those gains, right? So Sprint looking pretty good. Speaking of TMUS, the possible buyer of Sprint, this one, nice pop today, 5.4 million shares in T-Mobile, so keep that one on watch. TWLO also holding up pretty well here. Twilio needs to get back over that 42 level. Next up, STLD, steel name holding up okay. We'll take a look at US Steel. This one is still under the 50 SMA. STLD holding right around the 50 SMA. ZEUS, another steel name holding above the 50 SMA. Doesn't get a lot of volume though intraday. That's the only problem. So more maybe of a swing trade in Zeus. We'll see. Another steel name, TMST. This one had 341,000 shares, possible swing trade in this one, as this is another steel name showing strength, holding above the 50 SMA on TMST. Another intraday possible trader is Twitter itself. All right, now Twitter getting back over $30 here. They popped it up in the pre-market today after their earnings. Now it's back over $30. So maybe in sympathy with Facebook, we might get a pop in Twitter. Let me see if there was any others that I wanted to go over with you. Pretty much hit them all that I'm looking at. STLD, TMST, Twilio, UNG, Zion. Zion, another regional bank that you may want to take a look at for intraday play or maybe a possible swing trade, all right, as the rates are moving up and these regional banks are doing pretty well and popping, all right. So here's give you an example, right? If you catch a Zion just right here, right, you could get almost a $1 move in Zion today, so I'll definitely have that on watch. All right, and I think I'm going to have a U.S. Steel on watch also. If you take a look at U.S. Steel, here's the open, right? It pushes down. They get it back above the VWAP line, and they move it up almost, a dollar on U.S. Steel. Some nice intraday moves in X and also Zion today. So those two will be on watch. All right, that's the watch list for Thursday, the 26th. This is Mike from ZozoStockWatch.com. Come check out my service. It's $44.95 to try out the first month. Trading for Thursday.